Alright, it's Thursday night, practically Friday. Might as well be the weekend. But let's see what happens tonight. Usually a chill night, but who can predict where the evening will take us? Not I. For one, I do not know. Thanks, Celtic. And hello, Greg and Madam Butterfly. I did see your picture today of your big mail out. So I guess fair chance I'll be able to get that when I'm in the office next Monday. We shall see how prompt Australia Post is, I guess. I am going to do the warm-up. Did I say hello, Heine? Hello, Heine. People popping in. I'm going to do the warm-up. I'll make a short video. Got a few ingredients, this one. Got to line them up. Okay. Oh, wait. Trello, yellow, mellow, sweet Louise. Okay, so I want aromatic dough. New bottle of aromatic dough. Now I got to, where's my black raspberry that I got from a guy at the market? This is supposed to be easy because is it under R for raspberry? Sure, why not? Black raspberry, amaretto. All right. And I got my gin. Oh, new bottle, first time I've opened it. Okay. This one from the local market. This one from the local tree is my grenadine substitute. Lime juice. Just count through. The passion fruit. Where's the passion fruit? Okay. The mixing glass out there. So, passion fruit, raspberry vodka, amaretto, black raspberry, lime juice, and grenadine. I've got everything ready. Okie doke, let's set the cameras up. The Celtic getting 8. Oh, nice. Actually hitting the people up for books. There also was quite an interesting collection of books and DVDs you got from the op shop too. It's quite an interesting collection. Okay, let me get this ready. Make this first because it's just for a short. Right. Bring this white around for the close-ups. Slow-mo. The sexy slow-mo. Wait. Alrighty. Let's go. Wait, actually it's better if I close this. Okay. Und so. A gin. $15 mils amaretto. $15 mils black raspberry. We got 22.5 mils of lime juice. And 7.5 mils of grenadine. And just dump it in my frozen. Okay. Turn that off. I want my fine strainer. Over here. Okay. Haven't been chilling my glass, so I'm going to lie and say I did. Don't let on, everyone, but yes, I'm lying on the internet. A little bit of ice in there. So check all this shit and switch it on again. Bang it in hard, as the actress said to the picture. Okay. Let's strain this. All right. That'll freaking do. Okay. So that's the drink. All right. Get this around here. Oh, Lawsy. Hey, Charlie, how you doing? Just gotta get this happening. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. While that's thinking about starting, I'll put lids on to avoid drama. Catastrophic spillage. Something I'm always paranoid about. All right, it's ready now. Is that warmed up? There we go. Let's fucking go. Wobbling before. Okay. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called a Sweet Louise cocktail. And you see the ingredients, like, yeah, it does seem like it's going to be sweet. The base that was recommended was raspberry gin and fucking shit. Vodka. The whole thing is I'm going to shit talk vodka. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called a Sweet Louise cocktail. And when I saw the ingredients, I thought, yep, that is probably going to be sweet. It has lime juice as well to cut it. So I'm interested in how it's going. The base recommended spirit was raspberry vodka, and just ew. No vodka and artificial flavors. Ugh, no. Vodka's such bullshit. I'm using this. This is a gin that I flavored myself with a local fruit called lily pilly, sometimes called riberry. So I guess technically it's a slow style gin, much better option than raspberry vodka. Ew. But I'm going to see what this tastes like now. It is indeed sweet, and it has some tangy fruit elements. Besides the gin, it's said to use one passion fruit, which is a somewhat ambiguous measurement. But I had some passion fruit I'd frozen in the freezer, and I thought, yep, little ice cubes of passion fruit. I'm just going to chuck them in. So the lime and the passion fruit is making this really tangy and tart in a really good way. I'll show you how to make it. In a shaker, putting 1 ounce or 30 mils of my fruity gin, then half an ounce or 15 mils of amaretto, then half an ounce or 15 mils of black raspberry liqueur, then 3/4 of an ounce, around 22.5 mils of lime juice, and then 1/4 of an ounce or 7.5 mils of grenadine, and then I'm chucking in my frozen passion fruit. Added a bit more ice to the shaker, shook it up good and hard for 10 or 15 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. Now I'm straining that into a chilled Nicanora glass. I didn't use as much ice as I normally would because the passion fruit was frozen, and I rightly assumed it would melt and break down in the shaking, but I didn't need as much ice because I had icy passion fruit. Anyway, it's come out really well. If you like really tart sours, the combo of the passion fruit and the lime juice works really well in here. And geez, I'm just going to say, in terms of using vodka in a cocktail, friends don't waste time with their friends on shitty vodka drinks. That did not come out how much I wanted it to. I swear this is my first drink and I've only had a sip of it. Words are hard sometimes. This is pretty easy. I'm going to enjoy a Sweet Louise. Cheers. Holy shit. Oh my God, my mouth wouldn't obey. Anyway, sitting dune. Switching stuff off. Okay, switch this off. Just get our mood lighting happening. Get this out of the way. Switch it. Looks a lordy. I think I'm probably am keeping that outro. It was just funny. I just think it's funny if I really garble things. Well, this really makes your mouth pucker. It's like a boozy warhead. Some people go for the super sour lollies. I'm going for the sour and tart cocktail. It's really making ooh, but in a good way, like the warhead lollies. What's that, Safa? Since I'm a public servant, 2 hours off work to watch Socceroos. Hey, Abigail, how are you? Isn't the next Socceroos thing, it's like midnight on Friday, like a somewhat more reasonable hour? Well, the Socceroos are getting taxpayer money, aren't they? They're not a commercial outfit. I've been having the big TV on in the kitchen at work. Midday? Is it actually midday? I thought it was midnight. That's wild. What the fuck time zone is it that it's midday? That's wild. I saw 12 and just immediately assumed midnight because the other one was like 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm drinking this too fast, but what the hell? Well, let's look it up. The Socceroos taxpayer funded. Not fully. They do have some sponsorship as well. Football Australia gets $5 million a year in grants, but that's not just for the Socceroos. Wait, what's this? Jesus Christ, Football Australia wants $50 million. Fuck off. Anyway. Wait, the first game was 2 p.m. See, I pay no attention because, to be really honest, don't fucking care. Now, I was thinking, this is like, okay, cola syrup I made with cola beer. You make an old fashioned with it. Maybe 2 old fashions, 2 half-size old fashions, and compare them with the different sugars. I could do that. Okay, now I know what I'm doing. All right. Und so. Rinse out my jigger. Oh, I've got to decide. This is my Biscoff whiskey. It had Biscoff infusing in it for a week. Stupidly, I didn't keep a control. I didn't keep an unflavored one. It's just going to possibly be hard for me to know how much difference it makes. I'm assuming a bit, but okay, which whiskey will I make the old-fashioned with? Spoiled for choice, of course. Wait, is there something running down that I want to use up? Oh man, I forgot to put a label. I put liqueur in here. June 19th, June 20th. It's a cocktail. June 5th. The upshot's been in here for a while. I'll try it after a month. Just like another 2 weeks, I think. I'm going to save some of that upshot for a comparison. Not for blasphemy. Wait, there's a space for a whiskey there. Do I have another bottle of whiskey somewhere? Or am I the sort of reckless individual who used that as an excuse? Oh, was that honey? Oh, Botrytis cask. Oh, man. Should get into that at some point. What's this one? Small batch. Oh, torn between all these choices. I'm paralyzed by choice. You know what? I like just making it with bourbon. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now, I'm going to make 2 half-sized old fashions. Put a bit of ice in each of them. Okay, so I'll just do 1 ounce of the bourbon, 1 ounce of the bourbon, now I'm just going to do about 5 mils of the sugar syrup. That didn't work at all. I've wet myself. Actually, that did work. Okay. And my brown sugar syrup. Much thicker. And then we do 1 dash of bitters in each. Okay. So that's the cola syrup and that's the sugar syrup. Who needs television? Okay. Just stir. Get a bit of stuff happening and stir some more. I guess I may or may not have the soccer under there. Who's screening? It's SBS, isn't it? Screening soccer, of course. Hey, Danny, how are you? All right, so the big taste test. I made 2 different sugar syrups this week. You want to watch me tip water on myself? A little bit of slapstick. So this is with the reduced cola beer. It's a fine old fashioned. This is with the sugar syrup. I feel like the flavor of the bourbon comes through more with the brown sugar syrup one. Hmm. Let me see. Well, they both work pretty well. That's tonight's experiment anyway. Good evening. Oh, wait. Put that in. All right. All right, all right, all right. The last couple of cocktail cherries. But never fear, I do have backup cherries. Quite a lot of them, in fact. Man, the last ones, they kind of, I don't know, they've been crushed under the weight of other cherries. All misshapen and malformed. You passed 9,000 movies. Now, by now, 9,000 movies, you passed. You've been cataloguing, you've watched 9,000 movies. You had 9,000 movies in your store. We have 9,000 movies on your Plex. So I've got a few pencil. Well, actually, inked in is, of course, our movie of the week, To Kill a Mockingbird, on the Plex. Okay. That's a big collection. I'm assuming the Thin Man movies are on Plex, the Nick and Nora movies. But I notice you add the Boots Riley movie, I Love Boosters. I really want to watch that. I thought it sounded like you and Danny are known to each other. Yes, I've never actually read the novel, Dr. Abigail. I was embarrassed enough that I hadn't watched the movie, but I'm pretty embarrassed I haven't read the novel as well. Kelsey, definitely Charlie answer. How hard is it to set up a Plex? But I think the biggest thing is having a server and having enough internet bandwidth. I've been trying to, my most recent audiobooks have been ones that sort of classics that I've been embarrassed that I haven't read, particularly that recent Guardian list, 100 best novels published in the English language. I listened to the highest ranked recent one. I'm listening to Middlemarch at the moment. That got ranked number 1 on that Guardian poll. The other one I got was Toni Morrison's Beloved, which is quite a trippy novel. I quite enjoyed that. And I'm trying to remember, was The Memory police. There's a Japanese book being translated into English called the Memory Police. I've listened at least one day for 33 weeks in a row. And I was tagging a few more that people had been highlighting as things I should have read/listened to. I'll catch up to them. Oh, sorry, yeah, Dr. Abigail, that was like a year ago. You gave me Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I read it after you gave it to me. It's actually the last physical book I read. Actually, you know what? Those two old fashions taste better mixed together. But it's all good. I mean, I got exposed to Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. I mean, I quite enjoyed it, the whole motorcycle and the metaphor and all that. I got exposed to it first, like back in the 80s. My sister, who was a bit of a hippie, was that Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I mean, she definitely got me into Lord of the Rings as well. I read Lord of the Rings in high school. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance and Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I didn't come into contact with till I was at college. But yes, it's I feel like Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance is very evocative of the time when it was written. I know a lot of people shit on it and say, "Oh, stupid, pretentious hippie bullshit." But I quite enjoyed, because it was definitely someone like written by someone with a very different mindset to me. And whereas that's not always a good experience, for me, it was in this case. So I thank you for the book. Maybe it was a bit more chilling and a bit more diluting made that old-fashioned even better. Exactly, Dr. Abigail. What does quality mean? It's oh God, there's an old and I mean an old Doonesbury where they're making fun of Donald Trump. It's like from the 80s or maybe the 90s, and they're making fun of what a piece of shit Donald Trump is. One of the characters has a job doing interior design for Donald Trump, and he just wants everything gold plated and give those nymphs some hooters. And he's just like, yeah, gold taps, gold this, gold toilet, quality, everything should be quality. And decided saying, you say you want everything to be quality. He goes, yes, it has to be quality. By quality, I'm assuming you mean costs a stupid amount. And Trump goes, yeah, what other definition is there? So someone who's been the butt of jokes for decades ends up getting elected US president when he's at the worst he's been in his life. Like for decades, people have been going, well, this guy's a piece of shit, isn't he? And then when he was at his absolute worst and his whole fucked life, he gets elected US president, and we're all paying the price. Some more than others. The horrifying numbers of people who would have been killed by the decisions of his regime. It's all a bit much. I forgot to give myself a garnish. Ugh, yeah. But again, I am betting money. Well, I'm not. Okay, metaphorically, I'm betting money I'm not actually betting money, but I think, and I've said this before, the whole One Nation thing is going to be a flash in the pan, because in the abstract, people who are pissed off at the major parties, and why not be pissed off at them? They're kind of shit and self-serving. You're like, yeah, Pauline Hanson's real. She's not. She's worse and more fake and more useless and more destructive. But just when asked in a survey, oh, do you prefer Pauline Hanson or Anthony Albanese? I don't know if it's the equivalent of shitposting when the people say Pauline Hanson, but the thing is, in the lead up to the election, which is still quite a ways away, next federal election, I mean, the Victorian election's an interesting concept, but federal election's a concept. If Hanson and cronies haven't completely imploded, which is what's happened to them, because they've had a few rises at different times, and they go down in a screaming heap every time just because they're fucked and useless. I'm quite convinced that will happen again, but I'm no fucking genius, so who the fuck knows? I'm pretty convinced it'll happen again. Just because they're all such a pack of self-absorbed, self-interested, evil-brain-dead fuckwits. Their bullshit can't be sustained, because when they're in the public eye for long enough, they out themselves as the useless fuckwits they are. I did see that, Safa, the One Nation guy. I accidentally voted for the Greens because I don't have people to tell me what to do. I got the Karl Stefanovic thing, because he's just randomly, after playing this sort of woke TV guy for, was it 2 decades, he's just gone like, oh yeah, I'm getting in on the right-wing grift, starting a podcast where I promote right-wing fuckheads, and he has miscalculated and acted really pally with horrible person Stephen Yaxley Lennon, and he appears to have been caught by surprise that people go like, no, and Channel 9's going to sack him. But Kelsey, what happened to lying politicians? If I was doing magic wand stuff, it'd be a simple case of you lie, you're removed from office. Oh yeah, Charlie Hanson definitely deserves to be the butt of jokes. I mean, it's scary every time she gets positive public attention, and this is the most public attention, so it's the most scary. And when you see the rise of Trump, and I think Nigel Farage in the UK is going to fizzle out too. But yeah, it's concerning, but I think they're going to go away. Life in prison for lying. No, I don't think I need to give them life in prison, Celtic. Removal from office? Sure. Get pulling pants down, backdoor man. Again, that should get re-released, because that parody, which is a cut-up of Pauline Hanson talking, saying I'm a backdoor man, should get re-released, because Pauline Hanson, in her massive hypocrisy, she got that banned. But they should re-release it, because she's said, like, she has used other people's likeness to promote her fuckery, and they've said, fuck off, don't do that. And she's going, I get a sense of humor. So you should re-release it and just highlight her hypocrisy. Not that it would particularly change anyone. I think it actually would change some people. Some people are on the fringes. I I think the people who are maybe, you know, racism curious, and the people who are willingly blinkering themselves and going, I'm not going to pay attention to the horrible, stupid, unintelligent, nonsensical, contradictory, racist shit she says. I won't pay attention to that. I'm just angry at other politicians. But she's out in the public eye long enough. Uh, those people are just going to go, no, I can't ignore what a piece of shit these people are. And this little surge will fizzle out. That's my prediction. I will be mortified and more than a little sad if I turn up here. What is in that? Sorry, there's a bottle here, and I'm going, what's in this? Simple syrup. Okay. Wait, is that got? Ooh, that's got shit growing on it. Because that's not as rich as mine. Okay, well, I'm just going to chuck that out then. Mental note: chuck this out. I'm the back door man. Clean up our own back door. Ah, dear. It is very funny watching the Liberals stumble because they know, well, for a start, Pauline Hanson's thing about monocultural is just stupid as fuck. It's incredibly stupid. And fuckboy in the Liberal Party is tying himself in knots to not applaud multiculturalism, but not sound the same as Hanson. It's fucking ridiculous. It's just so stupid. It's not a vote-winning strategy. It's ridiculous. But, you know, Liberal Party seem to be stupid as fuck. Deep sigh. Monologuing myself. Ooh, that's what I was going to do, a label before I get. What was I think I did it 2 days ago. My new liqueur, which I usually just barrel age for a week. So I'll just put the label on. I mean, I'm not likely to forget, but I've got a label maker, so let's use it. So it was 2 days ago. It was the 23rd. Oh, and I don't know if I told you, Charlie. I did follow your suggestion, and well, you said Obituario because it was one of my favorites. I made another one recently, a Purgatorio, a version of a cocktail called a Purgatory that has mezcal in it. And so what I put in the barrel is half Obituario, half Purgatorio. And so if I revisit the okay, so the actual ingredients that I put in here, it's tequila, mezcal, vermouth, absinthe, and also rye whiskey, bourbon, Benedictine, green chartreuse. And I did have a quick taste of it, and it tastes strong as fuck. I might have to add some water to it. Normally, I just rely on stirring it on ice to dilute it, but I feel like I maybe need to add some water. I've not. Is Anatomy of a Murder movie or a TV show? And Danny, no, Robert Irwin wanted her to take down the video where she used him to promote her bullshit, and that's the one I was referencing when she's like, "Oh, need to get a sense of humor," which is such fucking hypocrisy. All right, I'm going to put my colourful light on. Ugh, I'm going to put this label on so I don't forget. So this is the 25th. So the whiskey's been in here 3 weeks. So I might taste test that next Friday. That will be a month. The Tonka Bean whiskey's only been in there a week. And the cocktail just went in on 5 days ago. I might try it on Friday too, actually. There. Otto Preminger. Abigail, I think politicians still get some sort of pension, because yes, I did see Celtic Ask if they got their pensions, but they used to get an outrageously generous pension. But you may be right. Maybe they don't get any special pension at all. Maybe they're just like a normal worker. I don't know. Okay, yeah, so you're talking about Skidoo. Wait, Skidoo was made by Otto Preminger? His big hit was Anatomy of a Murder. Give it a go. First mainstream movie to use the word bitch and panties. I mean, that's a hell of a claim to fame. I'll just say that now. I mean, like, I recognize the name Otto Preminger. Someone hooning what sounds like a trail bike. I was going to say motorbike, but it sounds small, like a trail bike. You laughed every time Jimmy Stewart said panties. That sounds like the name of a novel. I laughed every time Jimmy Stewart said panties. Very postmodern sort of novel that would be, I think. Otto made Exodus. Okay. That's the film about the creation of the state of Israel, isn't it? Paul Newman? The Man with the Golden Arm. Yes. I do remember you mentioning that movie. The Man with the Golden Arm. All right, I think I'm going to be chill and lay back. Let's have a non-alcoholic beverage. Ah, yes, Paul Newman is creating the state of Israel. There you go. I feel like I should watch more Paul Newman films, actually. Like, I don't think I've ever sat down and watched Butch and Sundance from beginning to end. I've seen bits of it. I mean, what are the classic ones like Cool Hand Luke, The Hustler, The Verdict, thus The Hustler sequel, The Color of Money, which is really a Tom Cruise film that Paul Newman's in. Needs to be Nation of Angry Aussie. Well, nation building's a hell of a thing. So Anatomy of a Murder is about a dude on trial, Ben Gazzara, who killed someone for vaping with his wife. There was a recent movie, or a more recent movie, called Anatomy of a Fall. Ooh, Safa, what are you got some Friday night action happening? What are you doing on Friday night? Oh, right, okay. Vaping with an R, okay. Yes, you don't want your comments censored or triggering people. I've got you. You're going to Bendigo to see comedian Melanie Bracewell. Well, I hope she's funny, and I hope you have a good time. I haven't gone out to see a comedian in ages. Used to go to the Melbourne Comedy Festival with Mrs. Angry. COVID kind of killed that. We haven't really done it in ages. Look, I'm probably on past midnight. Last week, mostly because I'd been pre-gaming, had 3 cocktails before coming on the stream. I was a bit tired. Went to bed at midnight. So Melanie Bracewell's a really tall Kiwi. Okay. Charlie, George C. Scott is the guy going up against Jimmy Stewart to make sure the army guy gets the chair. Okay. So what, Jimmy Stewart is the defense lawyer and George C. Scott's the prosecution. Ugh. I mean, sounds interesting, and I have heard of it. Do you think no Well, I'm not going to be in the city, so the only reason I was pre-gaming last week is I was in the city. So went to 3 different bars, had 1 drink in it. Dude, that adds up. Like I wasn't necking drinks at and I guess it was 2 hours from when I had the first drink to when I got home. So, but I can still feel it. So it's a good lawyer movie. Mystery, intrigue, dirty plot, ahead of its time. Okay. Oh, the Israel. Well, it's the old Paul. It's an old Paul Newman movie called Exodus, about the founding of the state of Israel. But so Jesus, Otto Preminger did some different stuff, didn't he? And Jimmy Stewart saying panties. Oh man. There's got to be something in that. It's a band name. Or even just doing a dance track with a sample of Jimmy Stewart saying panties over and over again. It's like whenever I hear funny things like like spam ads and whatnot that sound like name for a band or an album. Were they white panties or pink panties? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I'm not look, it sounds like I should get around to watching Anatomy of a Murder at some point. But it's probably not going to be soon. No one in my family's into sports stuff. It was always funny. Like I cut right back on the Foxtel thing to have basic stuff on it. Because at one point I had the premium thing because that was having all the music and kids channels and whatnot. And it just happened to have the sport on it. So I always wanted to like joke about, hey, look, I've got this thing with 13 sport channels. And I've never watched any of them. But yeah, I changed it. So it's just basic and movies. Save some money. It's a backup for if, I can't make Plex work. Plus, I kind of like, because there's a dozen movie channels. When I don't want to think, just switching on and flicking through, like, of all the movies that are on, What'll I watch? Da, 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 da. And sometimes, because it lets you, if you come in the middle of the movie, it lets you take it back to the start. But often just like, no, I'm just going to watch it from where I am. Like, off, particularly if I'm like having lunch or something, or having my weekend baguette. Just to have, it's almost like wallpaper. Okay, it was sport. No, I'm very proud that no one in my family likes. No, okay, my siblings are all into sport. I'm not, and my kids aren't, and Mrs. Angry's not, and her lad's not. So, Celtic, you're playing Pokemon Go. You saw VD and the rain got soaked. Rain is racist, anti-God supports homosexuality. And yes, Celtic, it's very good of you to be a bit demure. I respect that. Safra is their BBC News. I've got no fucking idea. Mrs. Angry has decided not to watch news, so I almost never watch news. I read news. I read news off various websites. I don't watch any of it. So Charlie, a lot of hardcore geeks on Plex forums. They started live Plex. Oh, right. They run TV stations. If I started that, would you watch it? I mean, maybe. It's just, okay. The asterisk on that, Charlie, because I think you'd be a good curator. The asterisk is you've got so much stuff on the Plex I want to watch. Like, I finished Your Friends and Neighbors today. I finished season 2. There's only 2 seasons of it. They definitely want another one. It's not a fantastic must-watch best show ever, but it was entertaining, and I've been watching it in my lunch hour. But I finished that now. I got to decide what's going to be my lunch hour viewing now. And there's a million things to choose from. So how's Plex not been sued? Well, you're only meant to use Plex as a backup for your own personal media. Justin, you are so into Liberal Party drama. I love it. So VD was mad. Police said to leave. One said they got a call about him. Oh, I'm not surprised from how you describe it. If people to get the cops to do welfare checks on him, like, I think this guy might need help. Okay, Charlie, can you lend a DVD to a friend? Depends who you ask. Like, literally, I remember this from the early days of the internet, like 2000s. Heads of media companies literally saying you're breaking the law if you lend a DVD to a friend. And even books, like, they're trying to say, you can't loan books to your friend. So, yeah, a rational person would say, like, of course I could loan a DVD to a friend. Of course I could loan a book to a friend. Some corpos try to assert that you can't, which is just ridiculous. Justin, maybe I saw the latest drama. What do you take as the latest drama? So, Kelsey, what do you want Charlie to sell things for you on Home for the Elderly? I don't think he does stuff on consignment. He buys stuff and then resells it. Yes, but the principle of Plex is you're not doing anything for profit. You're just backing up your own media library. And maybe, yeah, you let a friend borrow a DVD. Yeah, so various corporate types are really into, no, you can't do that. Like, they love the idea of everything being licensed. Maura Deeming said she was assaulted by Matthew Guy. Fuck, no, I missed that. Holy shit. That's serious. Dr. Abigail, corpos try to justify the worst stuff, like insisting people won't value things like water. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, that's a different sort of evil corpos who think people should not have the right to have water and whatnot. Yeah, Charlie, that's what I was trying to highlight. If you tried to make money from your Plex, that's a little indefensible, and you're definitely breaking the law. Any rational person is like, if I loan a friend a DVD, that's fine. But technically, the media companies say you're breaking the law. And I don't mean technically. They say they have said, they are on the record as saying, loaning a DVD to a friend is a crime. So, Gojo, you wanted to know, come across things. Oh, Celtic, I'm sure Charlie would gratefully, if you found anything interesting, I'm sure he'd gratefully receive it. So Matthew Guy is considering legal action, as it was called. What? So Matthew Guy thinks what was caught on camera proves he didn't assault her, and she's saying he did? God damn. Oh, yes, Dr. Abigail, the single-use DVDs. That was incredibly fucking short-lived because it was really bad technology. Oh, no, Safa. Media. Okay, so for media companies, their second favorite thing is to force everyone to buy their own copy and not be allowed to back it up or anything. What media companies really want is to rent everything, so you never own anything. Because they're just fucking pieces of shit, honestly. Oh, you're talking about, like, everyone knows DivX, yeah. It was just an obviously terrible idea. But yes, now we had broadband internet and streaming, and they can say, like, yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, Safa. And there have been lawsuits about buying digital movies, and then the media companies fucking you over. It's kind of hard to pick the most soulless, evil companies in the world, but media companies, and that's TV, movies, music, they're hot contenders for the most soulless, evil fucking companies in the world, because they fucking they abuse the people who create for them. They abuse the customers. I honestly think record companies might be the worst of all. Media, TV, movies, and music. I think music companies might be the most evil and the most fucked, for just fucking over the artists who create stuff, and also fucking over the customers. They're just fucking evil. So Justin posted the link on Discord. Matthew Guy is considering legal advice to sue his part-time colleague for defamation. The claims being investigated by police. I did actually miss this, so thanks for posting it, Justin. He's denying Maura Deeming's allegation. He put her in a headlock. Security vision shows Mr. Guy placing his hand on her back. This guy is considering legal advice to sue. More redeeming. Ms. Deeming first made complaint to opposition leader Jess Wilson before going to police. Video appears to show Mr. Guy placing his arm on Ms. Deeming's back to speak with her. So the ABC's being ambiguous, but saying, holy shit, the video does not seem to support her at all. But Victorian Liberals, what a fucking joke, honestly. Hopefully physical media makes a comeback. Look, it's been taken away progressively, but there's already a kickback. Like, you know, the resurgence of vinyl was wild. Like 30 years after vinyl basically disappeared, it came back in a small way. And I think people are progressively getting more pissed off with the media companies taking away rights of ownership and taking away physical media. But I don't know. Trying to predict the future's a mug's game. Anything could happen. Jess Wilson has a shit job. The name is vaguely familiar. But lots of people have shit jobs. Oh, sorry. I literally just said it. Leader of the opposition in Victoria. It's so funny. It's not familiar with me. Jesus Christ. That's such bad name recognition that I don't know the name of the Victorian Liberals leader. Yeah, I didn't watch the video, but the ABC's wording made it really clear that concept of Matthew Guy putting more redeeming in a headlock is no. They said, like, we saw the video. He seems to put his hand on her back. And it's like, ooh. And geez, what's the motivation for making a claim like that? It's, I don't know. It's, that is a strange one, to be sure. Yeah, see, Justin, why would a rational person want to lead the Vic Libs? Yeah, well, are there rational people in the Vic Libs? That's the question. I don't know, like, historically, you go, like, the Liberals should definitely win the next state election. But I don't know, they don't look that well placed to do it. It's like I keep saying, it's fascinating because I refuse to try and predict anything because I think any outcome's equally likely. So, Charlie, all those single lines, I feel like you're about to turn into Scarface. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. Justin, Moira Deeming does not seem to be covering herself in glory with this allegation against Matthew Guy. I certainly wouldn't want to say anything legally binding. Oh, okay. Did you see the remembering thing suffer? Because it would have been Anthony Bourdain's birthday, and I think he is a very interesting person. Certainly I've watched a few of his shows. I haven't watched all of his shows. Watched quite a few of them. He was always entertaining. Don't agree with everything he said, but he's also an indicator of you never know how badly depression is debilitating someone. Anthony Bourdain seemed to have everything he wanted, this amazing life, doing these amazing things. But depression was such that it killed him. You don't know who Anthony Bourdain is? Oh my God, Safa, go on YouTube. He had cooking and travel shows for years. And yes, Robin Williams. I've read a few things that was a bit more complicated with Robin Williams as well. That I think there were some physical health issues that hadn't been disclosed. But yeah, no matter who someone seems to be, no matter how happy they seem to be, no matter how successful they seem to be, depression is a serious illness and can absolutely fucking kill you, and no one's protecting you. You don't know Anthony Bourdain either, Abigail? Oh, well. Maybe I'm being very presumptuous. He's very blokey. Anthony Bourdain's very blokey. So if I had pizza for dinner, Dr. Oetker supermarket pizza, spinaci, and I added bacon and more cheese to it because I'm a fucking animal. And I ate it while watching the whole Laserdisc video with Charlie on Plex because YouTube had blocked it at the point it was meant to go live. Yeah, the Anthony Bourdain travel shows that were all about food, drink, and place. They're very entertaining. Like I said, he's incredibly opinionated, and I don't agree with all his opinions, but I like the way he ran the shows. Sorry, what's on Discord? Oh, what am I holding? So this is the little plastic bottles from the oh God, my brain's not working. What's it called? The Advent calendar. The Advent calendar Charlie sent me, that there was a little plastic bottle with a cocktail for each December day leading up to Christmas, and I just put them on a string and I use them as a fidget toy. I did see that it's live on YouTube now, the modified whole Laserdisc thing is live on YouTube now, but Charlie and I watched it together on Plex. Yeah, it's my stimming thing. It's a fidget toy. I am. Oh God, I'm a severe fidgeter. Did I say Plex? Sorry, Discord, Plex. It was on a computer screen. You kids today and your technologies, I can't keep pace with it. Oh dear. My possible neurodivergent behavior when I'm in online meetings for work. I had one that went for 2.5. Well, it finished a bit early, but it was over 2 hours. I had 5 hours of meetings today. I'm just like trying to be attentive and face these people, and fucking, I'm just like, I need to have a browser window open as well. I need to just be clicking through some news stories, because I can't just be sitting here listening to someone talk. It's too much. You thought I'd have a go at your religious stuff? Oh no. Oh God, no, that was fun. Okay. You got to go watch it. But at one point, Charlie got me was talking about religion, and I happened to hold my arms out like this, and he froze it with the angelic choir. So like, ah. And he used that a couple of times in the video, which I found quite funny. But yes, I always appreciate the amount of effort you go to with editing those Laserdisc videos. It's fucking wild. I would not have the patience to do that. No way. Oh, speaking of which, I've actually got the balls video. This week's new cocktail video. I should preview that. Oh, wait. No, I think I did the wrong thing then. This stupid, shitty laptop. Open with Windows Media Player.
Say everybody ever seen my balls? They're big and frozen.
All right, I just forgot I had this here. I'm going to show you my balls now. No, that's what am I doing? Where's the fucking honestly? Share. Okay, just make sure that's working. I think that's working. There we go. This is not very long. Let's watch this.
Say everybody ever seen my balls? They're big and frozen and clear. If you ever need a pick me up. Just stick my balls in your glass. Cocktail glass, of course. Of course, I'm talking about balls of ice balls. In my case, clear ice balls. Why am I doing this? Well, clear ice in a glass when you're serving a drink looks cool. Clear ice balls, even cooler. I have actually had people question why I would go to extra trouble just to make my ice clear. The answer's pretty simple. It's cool. Clear ice in a glass looks good, and it's a little bit of fun. Who doesn't want fun in their life? Think about it. You see your drink before you taste it. And anybody who says their enjoyment of a drink or a meal is not influenced by how it looks is talking crap. A rubbish drink is not going to be saved by presentation, but a good cocktail is going to be enhanced by the additions, like clear ice or a garnish. Have you ever run across those people who don't want to do any extra effort to make life enjoyable? They just say, no, why would you go to any extra trouble just to enjoy life? I don't know what's wrong with these people. We don't need that sort of negativity in our lives. So let's get straight on to talking about my balls of ice. Yes, I am probably going to do that a lot in this video. I am here to help you to get your balls looking their best. I'm doing it again already. But what I mean is I'm going to show you the best, easiest, least complicated way to get perfectly clear balls of ice for your drinks. The one thing you need is directional freezing. Well, and a spherical ice mold, I guess. And I suppose a freezer if you really want to get pedantic. And I could keep going, but I don't want to get too Monty Python about this.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Our chief weapon is surprise. Surprise and fear. Fear and surprise. Our two weapons are fear and surprise. And ruthless efficiency. Our three weapons are fear and surprise and ruthless efficiency.
Now I think of it, technically you don't need an ice mold. You could be like one of those Japanese bartenders who hand sculpts a larger block of ice into a sphere for your drink while they prepare it right in front of you. But I'm not expecting that proficiency out of anyone here. I'm going to show you much easier ways to do it. Here's the mold I have. It's pretty simple sphere. It comes in two parts. There's a hole in the top where you pour in water. The only trouble is when you do that and you get your ice out, it's like this. It's not clear. You've got impurities and air frozen in the middle. How do we get around this problem of the air bubbles and impurities in the middle of the ice? Enter directional freezing. I use one of these readily available double-walled insulated coffee cups. Get a big one. It's a pretty simple process. You fill this most of the way up with water. Then you fill your sphere with water. Cover up the little hole, turn it upside down and drop it in there. I recommend doing this over a sink because the scope for spillage is pretty high, quite honestly. Who wants their balls spilling all over the place? Am I right? The reason this works is this cup is insulated all the way around and at the bottom, but not at the top. So it freezes from one direction, pushing the impurities to the bottom. And because we put the sphere mold in upside down, it pushes the impurities out through the hole as it freezes, and so you get a clear sphere. So really important, hole's got to be on the bottom, otherwise this isn't going to work. And when you take it out, you've got a perfectly clear ice sphere. Sometimes you get a little ridge around where the two halves of the mold have joined, but that's quite easy to carve off, and you just get this nice effect. You can quite easily get molds that are insulated to make spheres, cubes, and other shapes. They can be a little pricey, but this brings me to what prompted me to make this video. I found this online. It was only about 20 bucks, and that's much cheaper than the other ones I've seen. That's $20 Australian, by the way. If you're an American, I think that equates to, I don't know, 2 shiny rocks. The exchange rate's not good. This has points over my coffee cup method through ease of use. It's pretty easy to do. You fill it up to a marked line on the inside, and then you slowly ease this in, and it sits in place and squeezes out any excess, and it'll freeze from the top down, and there's a reservoir at the bottom for the impurities. It's also much easier to get the ice out. It didn't take long after the freezer to get this out, and you just pull it apart, and your sphere's there. You maybe have to break off a little bit of excess, but the only problem is it wasn't completely clear. It did make a ball that's slightly larger than my clear one, but it's got these little bits of air trapped in there, which to me says the insulation is not as thorough as it needs to be. Also, you know, when your balls are different sizes, maybe it's time to go and see a doctor. I really did like how much easier this was to use than this, because whereas I can pull this ball straight out, this one you have to leave sit. I leave it upside down where it can drain, and you've just got to wait for it to thaw enough for the mold to slip out, because you can't twist it like an ice cube tray because it's hard. That's what she said. I gave this mold a second chance and used boiling water in it because that can actually help with clarity. It won't make it completely clear, and don't listen to people who say it will. I have gotten into online arguments, which is stupid, my fault for engaging idiots. People who swear, no, I can get clear ice with hot water. No, you can't. Science says you can't. I don't know if these people simply don't know what clear ice looks like, or they're the sort of jerk who just likes fighting on the internet. Either way, these people are negative and you don't need them in your life. I could experiment with that cheap mold in the future. I'd find some more insulation to wrap around it, and that might provide enough insulation to get completely clear ice. I will try it. If it works, I'll get back to you and show you the marvelous result. Otherwise, maybe one day I'll invest in one of the more expensive ones. But for now, I'm going to use my coffee cup method simply because it's tried and true, easy, doesn't take up a lot of space in my freezer. In the meantime, I have my clear ice ball and I have a clarified cocktail. The two are a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned. I love the way the ice virtually disappears into the drink, and yeah, as I said, just looks cool. I think it makes the drink taste better, honestly. Ooh, one more thing. You do need to temper ice when you take it out of the freezer. If you've gone to all the trouble of making clear ice and you pour a drink on it straight from the freezer, there's a pretty high risk the ice will crack, which will ruin the whole clear effect. So let it sit for a few minutes, or alternatively, you can torch the outside if you have one of those kitchen blow torches. That sounds counterintuitive. I think it's very counterintuitive, but it works. I don't know why it works, but it works. I don't know the science. Maybe someone can explain it to me. Also, if the ice has been in the freezer for a little while, it often has a bit of frost on the surface. The blowtorch gets that off quite nicely, and you get your lovely clear ice, maybe in a lovely clear drink like this one. But I'm going to sit back and enjoy this. I'll keep you up to date with any more exciting clear ice news in the future. Until I do see you again, I'll say cheers.
All right. Dr. Abigail, you want to explain the science of why boiling water works a bit better, or why it doesn't make it completely clear? It doesn't make it completely clear because there's still a thing in there. Got to science the shit out of it. Yes, that was Windows Media Player. the other media players act weird on this shitty laptop for some reason, and I don't know why. Just that this laptop is shit beyond belief. I still have to take my better one over to Dr. Abigail at some point and maybe convert it to Linux, and then it might work better for live streams. Is that a weird thing? Are you talking about the flame over it? Is that the science you were talking about, Dr. Abigail? Because there are a couple of different science references. This weekend, I mean, maybe, honestly, I'll message you. It's like if we're both up and about at the same time. Oh, that's right. Your birthday's coming up too, which is very exciting. So much excitement. Actual birthday on Wednesday and you're having a party on Friday. Nice. All right. Very excitement. Birthday. God, if I become a Catholic again. That's such a strange question. I guess some people who become agnostic or atheist end up reconverting back to religion, but no, it's all stupid bullshit. I did see that as well, Safa, the European heat wave. They've been having really hot weather on and off for a couple of weeks, and fucking killing you. Holy shit, Plex lifetime pass goes up. Is that just if someone wants a new Plex lifetime pass? Like they're not retrospectively charging people who already have it? Oh, Jazz Dance Vance is just a lying, hypocritical grifter. Nothing he says means anything. So, okay, this is my Biscoff whiskey. I haven't had a proper taste of it. I need to have a proper taste of it. I'm also assuming it makes a good old-fashioned. Let's... Now this, an Australian single malt, Black Flank, named after a wallaby. This was... $100 in the bottle shops for ages, but I think it hasn't been selling that well. I did get that clearance and Dan's for $60. Fucking deal. This is good. Yeah, so it's new. If you already have an old pass, then it's a lifetime. So yeah, that's a sign that they think they're getting more popular if they're upping the price for new customers. I think this has got a definite Biscoff aroma, actually. It legit does have a Biscoff flavor. It's pretty fucking good, actually. That is a leap from 200 to 1,000. It kind of is saying stop buying lifetime passes. So I guess the alternative is an annual one. How much does an annual one cost? Yeah, so this comes back to what I was saying earlier about these companies trying to force everyone to just rent everything and never own anything. Yeah, so they're trying to push people to annual or monthly. Kelsey, Hungry Jack's has a Biscoff latte? Needs more Biscoff. Well, this whiskey is pretty good Biscoff whiskey. I'm going to make an old-fashioned with it. What time is it? Oh, yeah, it's only 9:30. Fuck it. This is a nightcap. All right. Where's my jiggers at? Just do a little bit more sugar syrup because the whiskey's already being sweetened by the Biscoff. Right, let's go. Let's go, yo-ho. Biscoff whiskey, Biscoff whiskey. Dash of bitters, maybe two. All right. Okay. Biscoff whiskey old fashioned. We'll do a breathalyzer after this, Safa. You like the vid? I like the vid. Thank you. Dr. Jellyfin's looking mighty attractive since Plex lifetime announcement. Yep. Oh, yes. Charlie was referencing Jellyfin as well. Yeah. Experimenting with it. Well, I'm having more people since I started doing the new style of video, I've had 2 randos who stumble across going, this is awesome. Your channel's going to be great. You know, you're going to be huge. And I really appreciate people saying that. But I also quite like, okay, I've only started doing the new style of videos since April. And I've always said to people say like, oh, how can I be big on YouTube? It's like, if you're not prepared to upload regularly for a year or more with no appreciable gain, then it's probably not for you. So if I consider April a reinvention and day 0, so I'm still enjoying making these. So I just got to keep going. Small tip. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. When I take a beat so you can cut before you move. I get what you're saying, and I'm probably going to keep working on it. But I also want it to be a bit more fluid. So if I'm half turning from the front one and half turning thing, I appreciate the feedback, and I will keep working at it. Man, what is with this fucking cherry? Yeah. I also noticed you like the innuendo, Charlie. I was like, it's hard. That's what she said. Wow, that really accentuated the Biscoff of it. 9 out of 10. God damn. Oh, yeah, no. The nitpicks, that's your job. That's the producer job. And my job is to listen and maybe... and that is an excellent point, Dr. Abigail. I should take more care. This is where it's really difficult, doing it completely by yourself. But that is an excellent point about trying to make the default of the second camera more centered. See, both in producer roles, I really appreciate you. And it's stuff that I may or may not be able to act on, stuff that I may or may not agree with. In this case, I actually agree. But we'll see how I can make it work. Holy shit, this Biscoff Old Fashioned is fucking awesome. Oh my God. It's really weird. Like adding the sugar syrup and the bitters made it taste more Biscoffy. Fuck, man. Well, now I know this shit works. I'm probably going to do it again. I use up this Biscoff whiskey and I'll just make some more Biscoff whiskey because it's fucking yum. Oh, that is super yum. God, I wonder what else I could use that in. Now that I know it works. Biscoff brandy? Biscoff rum, mayhap? And would the Biscoff flavor work in tropical drinks? That's the question. That's where I'm thinking of rum. Is it worth doing it with rum? Yeah, what would the Biscoff... Maybe I'll make a whiskey sour tomorrow night with the Biscoff whiskey. So what's that, Charlie? Oof. Oh, Moana live action. It's got to make 70 million and cost 200 million to make. Yeah. It's hard to tell with Disney because I've been super surprised because we had this discussion one night. I thought all the live action things were fucking failures and looked them up, and Disney has been making a fucking shit ton of the live action adaptations of their popular animations. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if one... Oh yeah, no, Disney don't care. They also sink costs into getting people to keep up a streaming license. I've heard they changed the story in the live action. I'm thinking. Sorry, you know what I'm suddenly thinking of? Lilo and Stitch. They did a live action Lilo and Stitch. Changed the story to an extent that pissed off a lot of fans of the original. I never watched the animated Moana, so I have no horse in this race. Celtic, you're off. Take care, man. Holy shit. I'm definitely making more Biscoff stuff though. Fuck me. Maybe Biscoff brandy. Go and get a cheap brandy from not a shit, because the cheaper brandies aren't shit, but they're just cheaper. Get some cheap brandy from Dan's and do some Biscoff brandy. Because fuck me, this worked. All right. This is interesting. Because well, I think I showed the Biscoff whiskey in a jar the other night. It was all sludgy, so I did it in 2 phases. I strained it first through cheesecloth, which got rid of the heaviest sediment, but it was still really cloudy. That's it. And then I filtered that through a coffee filter, which took a long time. In fact, I left it overnight. But it filtered it really well. Like, it's pretty clear. It just looks like whiskey. It doesn't look cloudy at all. But it seriously has a really pronounced Biscoff flavor. Freaking yum, man. And I got my tonka bean. Wait, did I fucking... Oh, I didn't even... Oh, okay, I put it all in. Fuck. Anyway, so that's Chief's Son, another Melbourne whiskey, or Victorian. It's actually out on the Bellarine Peninsula, past Frankston. Franger. So, okay. So your question, how long do I want to leave? So, I'll probably taste the cocktail. Actually, I think I'm going to taste all of them tomorrow. The Upshot, Chiefs, Tonka Bean, the Obituario in Purgatorio. Probably should have made a video out of that, actually. Oh, I can do it down the track. I don't know. But we will have to see what's what with the barrel aging beverages. Because goodness knows, I like to keep the barrels happening. I think, was there anything else? No. No. Yeah, you know what? I did say there was a space in the whiskey shelf, didn't I? I'll put the Biscoff whiskey back here. What's the space back here? What was it? Back there. Put that there. And put the bourbon back. Baby got back. And the gin here. The gin shelf's very full. The rum shelf is full. Oh, yeah, no, I used up some of the cheap brandy the other day. We need to get some more cheap brandy. I definitely think Biscoff brandy is in my future. Because I use the Biscoff spread. It might be, but now I know it works, I don't care. I can be patient with the straining of it. Like, it might be easier to strain. You know what? Even though it's only 20 minutes to go to bed, I think I need to have a quick pee break so it's not just dominating my thinking. I'll leave you with the scary face. The scary face is in charge. That's so fucking weird. Sorry, Abigail, did you not see the scary face the other night? I brought that out sometime last week. It's from when I was like, I had that made, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago from a website called Print All Over Me. It's a long sort of duster that has the cartoon artwork of my face on it. You've not... Okay, look, I've got to show it off. Look, okay. So, it's a really long jacket, and it's printed on the front and the back. So, I can wear it. Oh, the buttons are on the left-hand side. That's so weird. This is on my Print All Over Me web shop. You can buy one of your own. Look. Oh no! I've got the buttons wrong. My face is all out of kilter. Ugh. Oh my God, there are a bunch of Count Bin Face videos on YouTube. Anyway, look, see, so I can wear it on the front and button it up, and it's me, and then it's also on the back. So I found this when I was looking for something else, and I'd kind of. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. It's a tent. It's absolutely huge. Because if it looks big on me when I'm a fat bastard, tell how huge it is. So I can leave Scary Face in charge, which is better than the fucking ducks. Oh dear. Oh. It's definitely the funniest things about the English electoral system. If you stand in a seat, when they call the final numbers, you'll stand on stage. So if you're like from the raving loony monster party, or one of the other silly parties, and you're in like the prime minister's seat, you get to stand on stage with the prime minister. So sorry, what's that Charlie making? Oh, right. I think I'm vaguely familiar with that YouTube channel. I'm Making a Movie did a Doctor Who video. I think I'm vaguely familiar with that. But yes, it's a big opinion thing at the moment. People throwing their 2 cents in about Doctor Who. Oh, he promoted the Home for the Elderly? Nice. So just Bin Face spoke at Oxford University. Well, that's pretty good. I don't know why, but there was a real surge of Bin Face videos on YouTube in the last week. I mean, I suppose there was a surge because they were uploading videos. But oh, Dr. Abigail, are you familiar with how people do prank candidates in UK elections, like, you know, for the loony monster party and whatnot? Someone who's been doing it for a few electoral cycles, campaigns under the name Count Bin Face, and because he wears this big helmet that's like a bin, a garbage bin. But you go on YouTube, Bin Face has been posting a lot of videos on YouTube recently. So, yeah, I feel like the first silly political candidate on the UK to get attention was Screaming Lord Such, and that was like back in the 80s. And I mean, Monty Python had a sketch about that sort of stuff, where they're doing the returns, and it was like, you know, the silly party and the very silly party. It's just a fun anomaly with the UK system. Okay, yeah, Justin posted it to General Neurospicy. Count Bin Face at the Oxford Union. So, yes. There's a lot about the UK electoral system that I think is ridiculous in a bad way. Like the first past the post thing, I think is bullshit. much more in favor of proportional voting and preferential voting. I don't think first past the post actually makes a lot of sense. But yes, the people running as silly characters and getting to be just sort of centrally there in the electoral process, I like that. And of course, we saw an interesting element of the US system this week in that before the actual election, they have their primaries where people who are registered voters for a political party vote for who's going to represent them. And you have to be a registered voter for that party, and you can only be registered for one party, and you vote. And so we've seen a lot of insurgents, particularly aligned with the Democratic Socialists of America, unseating establishment Democrats for safe Democrat seats. So they're going to get into Congress, and so there are going to be more radical. From an Australian point of view, they're just going to be centrist. From the US point of view, they're going to be radical voices going in. It's also not the worst idea in the world. Like, you can't do that in Australia because it's a parliamentary system. You only get to stand for a seat if you're part of the party machine. And yeah, there are ways to, get selected as a local member, but it isn't as democratic as the US system. I think a lot about the US electoral system is stupid as fuck. But the primary process, I don't hate it. But yes, a big sweep in New York of the Democratic Socialists with Hassan Piker really reveling in the success. It's been funny. So I think in the lead up to the midterms in the US, there are interesting times ahead. Anything could happen. Who knows? See, just I haven't been paying any attention to the UK or Farage. So I didn't know Farage wanted to get rid of first past the post. Does he want preferential voting? It's the old stopped clock thing. Farage said one thing that makes sense. Oh God, Rays, you just got off an endless shift. Oh, you sound just the way you did that in text. You sound very stressed. Oh God, Charlie, Christina Hendricks got a jubblies out on camera. I think not. Also, what's she doing lately? Because she's just like a fucking battleship in Mad Men. So Christina Hendricks may or may not have got her gear out in something called Egg, in a TV show called Good Girls, even in Tin Star. Oh, in Bad Santa. Did Bad Santa 2, did she do something? The short answer is I don't know. Sorry, what happened, Rays? You had no shows, last second pullouts, not sexually. Requirements not met for venues, uniforms being... So you've just had chaos. God, that sounds nasty. You get butt in Bad Santa too. Okay. Just the last 2 hours was all that chaos race. That sounds genuinely stressful. I know you're not a man for exaggeration or hyperbole, so I'm assuming it was just kind of fucked. All right. Going to put a little bit of the liqueur in here. It's probably got a couple more pours. Probably see me through this weekend. And then we'll have a new batch of the liqueur, which I'm barrel aging. Usually I only leave that in for a week. But I think big tasting tomorrow night. So I have to script this because I haven't even started the script for the book video I want to do tomorrow, but it's a hot drink made with tea and peated whiskey, peated scotch called Le Père B. And it's the favorite of Mrs. Anger and I because it's like with chamomile tea and peated whiskey, and just when it's hot, the smoky aroma from the peated whiskey just wafts up. It's fucking nice. So you're being on call, it calls at 2 a.m. asking about uniforms. Jesus Christ. See, this is the problem when you go into the office administrative side of things, Rays. You've got to deal with all people's stupidity. Okay, just for supper. I've got the breathalyzers on the floor. Just like where a drunk person would have dropped it. Let's see if it's working, because it only works. Oh, it's doing a countdown. So maybe it's going to work. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. .16. Does that sound real to anyone? I mean, maybe that's accurate. I mean, I definitely wouldn't drunk, but 0.16, 3 times over the legal limit. Maybe. I think you have to get to like 0.4 for it to be dangerous. Praise. Feels good knowing you got the office gig. Doesn't feel good knowing. Oh, yeah, no. It's like when other people fuck up, you've got the chaos. 0.16 sounds a lot. Okay, so 3 times over the legal limit. So 0.05 is 3 drinks in an hour. So what did I have? I had the first cocktail that I videoed, a clarified cocktail, old-fashioned, second old-fashioned. I think there were only 2 drinks each. That's 2, 4, 6, 8 standard drinks. It takes 3 drinks to get to 0.05. Yeah, I feel like it's overestimating. I feel like it's overestimating. 3 standard drinks is 0.05. So to get to 0.15, 3 times over, in 1 hour, you would have to drink 9 standard drinks. Oh, maybe it's not that much over. I think I'd be over 0.1. 0.16 seems a little high, though. Ray, you reckon I can operate heavy machinery? I mean, I feel like I'd be closer to 0.1 than 0.15. Yes, Safra, I can still do some basic maths, so I don't think I'm that pissed. But, you know, it's It's a good warning indicator, like, the aggressive beeping. Don't drive a car. Raise need to take into account amount drunk the night before, food intake, strength. Well, like I was guessing the strength of drinks. I think I've had about 8 or 9 standard drinks. But over 2 hours, it should be lower than 0.15. Should be a bit closer to 0.1. And thank you, Safar. I feel like I'm being at least vaguely coherent. But I'm going to have the cocktail cherries before going to bed. Oh, man, I love these cherries so much. Ooh, I feel like garlic from my pizza just came back at me then when I burped. That's fucking yummy, honestly. I love it, Tricia. Okay. Got the last 2 cherries in this jar, but I've got 3 more cherries out there. So I have a lot of backup cherries, is what I'm saying. So I'll have those last 2 tomorrow night. And then 50-50 chance I'll be streaming on Saturday night because it's not date night, but sometimes I just do something with Mrs. Angry anyway. We'll see what happens. I won't really know. Actually, I might know tomorrow. I was about to say I won't really know till Saturday what I'm doing, but I might know tomorrow. I feel like for tomorrow night's stream, I should be able to make a call on whether or not I'll do a Saturday night stream. We'll do a Sunday night because Charlie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're doing another batch of laser discs for the It's a Whole Laserdisc thing on top of movie of the week. Movie of the week is To Kill a Mockingbird. So I've got to make the cocktail Tequila Mockingbird for Sunday night. I am correct. We are doing a whole so fucking shit ton of laserdiscs to talk about on Sunday night, which is always fun. 50-50 chance I'm doing Saturday night, but I'll probably have a definitive answer on tomorrow night's stream whether or not I'm doing Saturday night. At this point, I don't know. I'll consult with Mrs. Angry tomorrow if we're doing anything on Saturday night. But Sunday night is going to be fun. I'm also going to try and watch a few movies this weekend. Have lots to chat about on Sunday night. That's the thing, we might, Charlie. It depends. Look, it's down to what Mrs. Angry is doing, if her lad's here and all these things. If her lad is not here on Saturday night, we might watch a movie together. It's all up in the air, but like I said, I'll probably have a definitive answer on tomorrow night's stream, but we shall see. Anyway, everyone, you all take care. See you another time, but bye for now.